Hello, my name is Mariyah and this is my final project for Unreal Game Dev Bootcamp with City Spectrum and the Saudi Digital Academy. In this video, I'll talk about what went well, what went wrong, and what I could have done better. So let's get started. The quest is given to the player automatically after a certain amount of seconds, and as you could see already, one of the things that I wish if I could fix is having them displayed as 0 out of 5 instead of 1 out of 5, because they really have 0 out of 5. Um, there were 4 main areas in the map. The player can go to them in any order, and for some reason I always find myself starting from here, so let's just go. This area is supposed to provide the theme of a dining area, and as you see, it's really huge, and this is definitely one of the things that I wish I did differently. The entire map size is really just too big, but because I already started with it, I just kept going, and I didn't make this one smaller because I wanted it to remain in symmetry with that side of the map. So this is how it ended up this way. There are 2 paths that the player can take to collect the mask over there, and I gave it a special VFX so that it can be seen from a distance, and the player knows like where do they want to go without being explicitly told where to go. If you get into this room, you can already hear the sound of demons, and if you want to bypass them, you can just use the other route over there. So let's just fight them this time. There are multiple kinds of demons, each of them deal a different amount of damage, and each of them has a different HP as well. The smaller guy will die fast because he only has 100 HP, and while this big guy has 300. So the cube left over there was the hitbox, like the weapon of the monster, but I forgot to make it invisible or to remove it after the player dies. After the NPC dies. Nah, I didn't want the player to go all the way back there just to get out of this area, so I added this labyrinth piece of the platform. So one thing that you can also notice is that after I teleport, I can really move right away. This is something that I would also have preferred if it was instant. Like if I could move just right away without having to wait. Now, the sickles in these areas do deal damage, and one thing that I would have loved to do is give them some visual effect that makes them really more visible. I tried to illuminate this area better, but I did not want it to be overlit, not to ruin the atmosphere. So yeah, I think that giving them a visual effect would have solved this issue. Oh no. This area contains a puzzle where the player has to put the pieces in the correct order and the correct places based on the color. So let's just say that I really messed up and I can't move the pieces to their correct places anymore. I can use this lever to reset them and they go back to their original places. So this is the gold one, goes in the gold plate. Silver one goes in the silver plate. And the bronze one goes in the silver plate too. The idea that just played indicates that we have solved the puzzle correctly. It does not really match the overall theme of the game, but this is the sound that I could find. I'd definitely change it, given the chance. Or the appropriate sound, shall I say. Uh, you have already noticed that the player played out sounds multiple times because I received damage like all of them at the same time. Now I have really low HP, right? I think I'll die soon if I don't get any health collectibles. Let's say that I'll just flee. So yeah, you can fight them if you want to, but I don't really want to do that right now. This is another puzzle. It's solved by stepping on the plates in the correct order, and this is also the sound cue that I don't like, but yeah. Alright, so now we have two more masks or seals to collect. So in this area, this is a door, and I think that I did a very poor job highlighting that door because it looks just like every other wall, and I didn't want to break the theme, but that made it not so intuitive. Like you wouldn't know if it's a door unless you approach it, and the door is locked, and to unlock it there is a lever in the map. You can hide in these areas, and there are also other hiding spots in this area of the map if you don't want to fight. But I think we'll just flee, right? Flip the switch and flee. And here we go to the door to open it. And this is the mask. can also fight the demons if you want to, but I'm just kidding. So now we do have four masks, and the fifth mask is all the way over there. So the quest is completed. One thing that I used today is to add an ending cutscene where I close this portal and give the player the satisfaction of having it closed, because this is what they were trying to do the entire time. Now, let's talk about some other things that I used to do. I could have dressed area in a better. Let's just stop playing and go to the map. That'll be better. So this area and this area are really empty. I would have loved to dress them, and that area not so much, but this one is different because it has this gate that gives the impression that there is something more going on. Your eyes will naturally be drawn to the light. And I also would have loved to make the map so much smaller, but I did love how it turned out. Like the way it looks like in the level design, that the player has freedom to go and collect each mask as they like. They don't have to follow a certain path, and they also are not forced to fight. They can flee, they can bypass the demons. I did want to add more visual effects, but I needed more time to actually visualize how would this area look like in a real setting. But one thing that I wanted to add for sure is a lot of corpses and blood decals everywhere, because right now the temple looks pretty, but it does not look as threatening as it should be. You know, a demon infested temple should look much scarier than it looks in this than it looks right now. So yeah, I would love to have added blood decals. I would have loved to make the map so much smaller. I would have loved to add dead people everywhere. I think that if I had the time to record audio for the player and also for the demons to actually say meaningful sentences instead of only growling, but I don't have any feasible voice actors at hand, so that's something that I would have done. Uh, I'm really disappointed with this area in particular. Uh, the two paths did go as planned, but for some reason I'm not satisfied with it. There's just way too much white spaces, but I'm positive that this is because of the scale of the temple overall. There are some other things, bugs that I would have loved to fix, but mm, yeah. So one thing that you might not know is that when you die and you respawn in this checkpoint, the mask will be here again, and you can collect it again, and it will be added to the previously added mask collectible. So you will have to, you can really just die and come back here and collect only 5 masks. So, yeah, I think that this sums it up. I really enjoyed working on this project and I enjoyed working on this theme in particular. Um, yeah, so thank you for watching.